All right, so I have 10:03, so we are going to get started. Good morning. I'm Adam Pearl. I'm president and CEO of ArtPride New Jersey. Thank you for being with us this morning. Want to let folks know that closed captioning is available via the button at the bottom of the screen. I think Vince, who's behind the scenes, is going to let everybody know that in the chat. Speaking of the chat, I encourage you to keep your eyes on the chat over the course of today's meeting. We will be dropping a few links in there for you to use. We also obviously have the question and answer feature. So if you're new to our Pride webinars, or if you're coming back after a while, just a reminder that that's a place to ask questions. We will do our best to get to all of those during the webinar. Lastly, I want to mention that we are recording today's webinar, and the team at ArtPride will get this up for your viewing, for sharing, for reviewing, usually by the end of today, if not usually the next business day. So if you're rushing to write something down or capture something, just know that we will make it available for you. All right. Let me do a little bit of a self-introduction. As I said, I'm Adam Pearl. I'm president and CEO of ArtPride New Jersey. I am a white male in my mid-40s. I have short brown hair. Today, I'm wearing a blue checked shirt, and there is a beige-ish wall behind me. I am coming to you from Bridgewater, New Jersey, in Somerset County, the unceded land of the Lenni Lenape. And yeah, that's my self-introduction. And speaking of introductions, I'm going to bring onto the camera now Allison Lorena, who is chair of ArtPride's Board of Trustees and the executive director of Mayo Performing Arts Center in Morristown, and my friend and colleague Anne-Marie Miller, who is ArtPride's director of public policy and advocacy.
Good morning.
Do you want to do, you guys can do self-introductions if you'd like.
I'm Allison Lorena with MPAC and chair of ArtPride. I'm wearing a white shirt with colorful flowers on it and a pearl necklace and some glasses, sitting in my office in Morristown. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Anne-Marie Miller, director of whatever Adam said. I'm wearing a white shirt, glasses, older, white, cisgender, with a blurred background. And I am also in Central Jersey from my home office in Hightstown.
And we have behind the scenes Vince Hall, and Vince is helping us. Vince, I think we're ready to go to the next slide. So we're going to actually spend today sort of three parts of today's webinar, and we really appreciate everyone joining us. First, we're going to thank some of our outgoing trustees. That's what Allison and Anne-Marie are going to help me with. Then we're going to vote on some new trustee nominees. I know many of you have already voted, but we are going to give you an opportunity to do that here within the webinar. And then we're going to have some updates from ArtPride. We're going to bring Anne-Marie back, and we have some updates on things that are going on at ArtPride. So that's our agenda for today. Next slide. So I get to start by thanking one of our outgoing trustees, Susan Gogan, who is the executive director of Wheaton Arts and Cultural Center. There's Susan on the right. The only pictures that we could find of Susan were of her holding giant checks. So I think that's a good sign. As mentioned, Susan is the executive director of and CEO of Wheaton Arts and Cultural Center. And Susan has been an exceptional individual, an outstanding leader, and a true champion of the arts community. Susan's dedication and contributions to the arts have been nothing short of remarkable. Susan is a former vice chair of the board and current chair of the governance committee, and she's played a pivotal role in shaping the direction of our organization. Her steady, calming presence on the board has been a source of strength and inspiration for us all. One of Susan's greatest passions has been advocating for the arts community in South Jersey. As head of Wheaton Arts, she understands the importance of nurturing and promoting visual and folk art traditions and recognizing their deep cultural significance. And through her unwavering support, Susan has ensured that these art forms receive the attention and recognition they deserve. Susan's expertise in bylaws has been invaluable to ArtPride, Her meticulous attention to detail and her commitment to good governance have helped shape ArtPride's operations, ensuring that we adhere to the highest standards of accountability and transparency. Amongst Susan's lasting legacies is the expansion of ArtPride's membership. In 2015, she spearheaded a bylaws update that allowed for-profit arts groups, businesses, and essentially any other entity to become members of ArtPride. So that organizations didn't have to necessarily be a 501c3 nonprofit to be a member. And this groundbreaking change has opened doors for new partnerships, collaboration, and support, amplifying the impact of arts across our communities. I personally will always cherish the memories of long hours Susan and I spent debating bylaw language and reshaping the organization together. Through Susan's leadership and guidance, ArtPride has experienced a transformative journey over the past several years. Thank you to Susan. Next slide, there we go.
Okay, so many may not know that Sharon Harrington offered pro bono government relations advice to ArtPride dating back to the 1990s when she was still a partner at Public Strategies Impact. Sharon's dedication to the arts runs deep, and she has been a change agent as a lobbyist, a state arts council member, an aide to Senator Lautenberg, and trustee of not only ArtPride, but the New Jersey Symphony, Wheaton Arts, and served on numerous gala committees for the New Jersey Theater Alliance and other arts organizations. Sharon attended National Arts Advocacy Day back in 2003 with me when funding was cut by the McGreevey administration, and she helped ArtPride secure the services of Joe Simonetta at Public Strategies Impact to help the arts regain support. Sharon's political acumen and her alliances helped ArtPride negotiate that difficult time. We were blessed to have Sharon as ArtPride chair and chair of the Government Strategy Committee at a time when we were finally able to move the needle on art support in 2019. Her leadership, sharp insight, vision, and ease in dealing with state legislators was essential to ArtPride's success and helping secure the major state funding increase. To know Sharon's deep connections, you only have to stroll the hallways of the State House and witness elected officials and state workers stop to say hello and often give a hug. Sharon is admired, loved, and respected by so many, and I only hope that as she leaves the board, she may consider an ad hoc role in ArtPride's future efforts. I am deeply honored to consider Sharon my friend.
John McEwen is a true champion of the arts sector in New Jersey, and we have been extremely fortunate to have him as a longtime ArtPride trustee and dedicated member of our executive committee. John's passion for uniting, promoting, strengthening, and cultivating relationships among the New Jersey theater community has provided invaluable guidance, support, and expertise to our organization. Collaboration is second nature to John, and we have seen this through thriving partnerships with ArtPride on advocacy, accessibility, and most recently creating Change and the Arts Pay New Jersey initiative. He is an exceptional fundraiser who has provided many connections for ArtPride throughout the years, helping us to sustain our efforts and carry out our mission throughout the most challenging of times. John truly understands the complexity and uniqueness of arts service organizations and has used that knowledge to help advance ArtPride to become a strong and united voice in support of the creative community in New Jersey. John, thank you for being a wonderful colleague and friend, and thank you for paving the way for ArtPride.
John Schreiber. Okay, when John Schreiber calls, people of influence answer the phone. ArtPride has been so incredibly fortunate to have John's deep knowledge of all things, from fundraising to expanding NJPAC's footprint in Newark and beyond, to understanding what is needed to build a successful board of trustees. During the pandemic, John's infinite wisdom helped broker a weekly Monday morning phone call with me, Allison Tratner, Evie Colbert and Sharnita Johnson, who was at the time at the Dodge Foundation. While our calls are no longer weekly, they are still valuable. No one could refuse John's invitation to review what is needed to make sure the arts are at all the important tables and to connect with priorities of the current administration. Besides his acumen in economic development and producing huge statewide events like North to Shore, John has a great sense of humor and a deep appreciation for how New Jersey can shine through the arts. We are fortunate to have had his experience and leadership on the ArtPride board and to have him as head of New Jersey's leading performing arts center. Thank you, John.
Steve Steiner is one of ArtPride's biggest rock stars. He has served on the board in many iterations over the years, and his most notable lead roles have been treasurer and finance committee chair. Steve, you have been there as a stable and knowledgeable force to help ensure the organization's financial health and sustainability. And I know I speak on behalf of everyone at ArtPride when I say thank you for your contributions over the years. You are also never shy to do what is asked, and it's been such a wonderful partnership with you as a volunteer for ArtPride and an organizational leader. It has been an absolute pleasure to serve with you on the executive committee, and we can always depend on you to keep us in line as our resident rules expert. On behalf of ArtPride, thank you for proudly advocating for this organization, for all small, medium-sized arts organizations, and the arts and cultural community at the Jersey Shore. You are a shining star and a respected ambassador of the arts statewide. Thank you, Steve.
And thank you to Alan Willoughby. Excuse me, Alan, who is the former executive director of Perkins Center for the Arts, is an extraordinary person, an artist, professor, and a true beacon of wisdom on the board. Alan has been a calming force of patience and knowledge, helping to guide ArtPride with his vast experience and profound understanding of the arts. Alan has played a crucial role as a member of the governance committee, contributing his insights and helping to shape the board and the organization. For nearly 3 decades, Alan led Perkins Center for the Arts in Morristown and Collingswood, leaving an indelible mark on the organization before retiring. His journey from a seasoned arts administrative executive to full-time South Jersey artist, teacher, camp counselor, professor speaks volumes about his versatility and passion. And Alan's dedication to nurturing the creative spirit and sharing his knowledge with others has been truly inspiring. As an ardent advocate for South Jersey, Alan has championed the region's unique voice and has been instrumental in fostering its growth and development. Through his leadership, he has helped shape a vibrant arts community that continues to thrive. Beyond his administrative and leadership roles, Alan's talent shines through his beautiful pottery. His creations have graced the lives of countless individuals, serving as heartfelt gifts for many ArtPride trustees, donors, and partners. Each piece is a testament to his creativity and the depth of his expression. Personally, I have been very fortunate to count Alan as a mentor and a friend. During my early years as president and CEO at ArtPride, he imparted numerous invaluable lessons. Thank you for that, Alan, and for all you have done for ArtPride. So I'll wrap up saying to Susan and Sharon, John, Steve, and Alan, to all of you, we cannot express enough how grateful we are for your commitment, your wisdom, your tireless efforts. You have left an impressive legacy on ArtPride and the arts community as a whole. On behalf of ArtPride, our members that are with us today, and those that couldn't join us, and the countless individuals whose lives you have touched, thank you for your exceptional leadership and dedication. You have truly made a difference, and your impact will be felt for generations to come. So thank you. I have one more thank you to do. So as many folks know, at the end of this month will be the end of Allison Lorena's term as chair of our board. And the current board of trustees will be gathering later today for their meeting to elect officers for the next year. And I just wanted to say to you, Allison, thank you so much. Folks probably don't know how incredibly supportive you are of me, of the staff, of the team, doing whatever we asked, always being available, pretending like you don't run your own multi-million-dollar organization and dropping things. And you have been such a steady hand, and we just so appreciate it. And I know you're not going far, you're staying on the board as immediate past chair, but we wanted to say thank you to you personally on behalf, as I said before, of the trustees, the members that are with us today, and those that couldn't join us. You have been an incredible leader, and we will miss you at the head of our organization.
It's been my pleasure, Adam, an honor really to serve as chair of the ArtPride board and to serve with your incredible leadership and just an incredible hardworking staff. We've accomplished so much and you've accomplished so much. And I look forward to a really bright future for ArtPride. And of course, I'm staying on the board, so I'm there if you need anything. But again, really, the staff has done an incredible, amazing job, and the board and membership, thank you for all you do for advancing the arts community in New Jersey.
Thanks, Allison. I will also mention that the folks that are rotating off the board, we're not letting them go too far. Many of them will continue to serve on committees. As some may know, our committees you don't have to be a trustee to serve on pretty much all of our committees. So we will continue to keep these highly engaged volunteers as part of the organization. And I think we are going to be ready for the next slide to move on to our next section. So with that, we have the turning of the page. As I think most folks have saw in their emails, the governance committee recommended to the executive committee, which have then recommended to you, the membership, these nominees to ArtPride's board of trustees. And we're going to give you a link to go over and vote in a moment. Just real quickly, I will mention a little bit about these wonderful folks. Alexander R. Diaz, who is the executive director of Bergen Pack, is a multi-talented artist and executive who has made a significant impact in the world of performing arts in New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, Miami, and abroad. Many know Alex because he was the education director at Bergen Pack for 12 years before taking over as the executive director. Dr. Carlos Fernandez is the director of the Center for Latino Arts and Culture at the Rutgers State University in New Brunswick. The center focuses on cultural engagement and leadership, programming, and supporting Hispanic, Latino, and Caribbean students at Rutgers, New Brunswick. Carlos has a doctorate in folklore from Indiana University. He's also an accomplished musician, performing vocal and instrumental music from the Latin American Renaissance, contemporary folk, and popular music. Lynn Toy, who is the executive director of the New Jersey Arts and Cultural Renewal Fund at Princeton Area Community Foundation. Lynn is the first ever leader of the New Jersey Arts and Cultural Renewal Fund. Prior to her role there, she served as chief administrative officer at the Harlem School of the Arts in New York City, where she was on senior leadership team managing strategy, marketing, and administration. And finally, Felicia Swoop, who is the executive director at Newark Arts. Felicia is an accomplished arts administrator, performer, producer, and teacher. She has worked as a teaching artist for both the Alvin Ailey Dance Foundation and the Battery Dance Company. So if you haven't had a chance, we're going to go to the next slide. If you haven't had a chance, we encourage you now to take a moment. We're going to drop this link in the chat. You can click over. This will open up a new web page for you, and you can quickly vote yes, no, abstain, and we will count the votes after this meeting. I know many folks whose names I see in the participants have already voted. It is one vote per organization, so if you have multiple members, please coordinate on who's going to be submitting the vote. And we're going to give you a couple of minutes. I did, manage to hold back from playing the Jeopardy music during this section, but if folks go over and vote and you feel comfortable coming back and posting in the chat that you're back from voting, that'll help give us the high sign to continue on with the webinar. So we're going to give folks about 2 or 3 minutes here to jump over.
So good time, Adam, to remind everybody to vote in the primary today.
Yes, vote as much as you can today here at the ArtPride membership meeting and in the primary as well. I think we're just going to give folks about 1 more minute. I just don't want to miss anybody because we do have some important updates here at the end of our webinar. So next year we will bring the Jeopardy music. Duly noted. All right, I have 10:25. So I think we're gonna jump back into our webinar, and feel free to continue to vote. We're gonna keep voting open until at least 11 a.m. This morning. So until 11 a.m. and then we'll close it after that. But if you didn't get a chance to do it here, feel free to do it at some point before 11 this morning. And I think we're on to the next slide, Vince, if you don't mind. And we're going to bring back Anne-Marie.
Okay, so just an update on some things that are happening or have just recently happened. Vince Hall led a really successful New Jersey Arts Advocacy Day in DC. It was his first. And he and Adam together, along with a group of 20 artists and arts administrators, went and trudged Capitol Hill to meet with members of Congress and our New Jersey representatives and their legislative aides to advocate for funding for the NEA, the NEH, for arts education, for tax and visa related legislation. So this is a first time independent of Americans for the Arts, although we did hold some advocacy training in advance. And if you visit the page on our website, you'll find some more information regarding that training as well. Next slide. And Vince and Adam also led this event, which was an opportunity. We actually had tried to work with Representative Andy Kim, who is the representative in Burlington in District 3, to host the Congressional Arts Competition event. And that didn't work out because of prior arrangements. But instead, they asked if at Lyceum Hall, we could honor the students who've been selected to attend the service academies, graduating seniors. So with the help of Barbara Fisher as well at Lyceum Hall Center, this event took place right at the end of May. And it's a good, as part of advocacy, it's a good relationship building with Representative Kim and his staff. Now they know they can count on us for help with other events as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so on the national front, President Biden has proposed $211 million for the NEA and the NEH. There is on the ArtPride website, artprideandj.org/actnow, an action alert where you can support this action, get behind the president's proposal, and engagement will happen in Congress all summer as they look at the budget and Interior Appropriations Committee meets, and everybody gets together from both sides of Congress to debate the budget. It's going to be sticky. We all know that. Actually, President Biden did us a favor by not putting in a huge increase this time, because I think it will help us in terms of not being a target, a political target. Let's hope. Next slide, please. Ongoing efforts include Bill A 4233 and its companion bill, which is Senate 2800. And there is another action alert. So we have a federal action alert and a state action alert on artpridenj.org/actnow, where you can support not only Governor Murphy's level funding for the arts at $31.9 million, but also these bills that appropriate $70 million in support from the American Rescue Plan for arts and culture. This is a hard battle. We really need your help. Budget time right now, it's, we have like maybe 2 weeks left before the budget gets passed. And while I believe the State Arts Council funding is secure, this additional funding is really important to help groups recoup some of the losses that they felt through COVID, and they're dealing with on a continuing basis in their annual operating budgets. So we all know we've not fully recovered, and we need your help with these bills. This is a list of all the assembly sponsors. You can see it's actually bipartisan, and there's an equal, not as many numbers on the Senate side, but some heavy hitters that are on the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee. So please go in there and support these bills. Next slide, please. And there's the two actions. The top one is the federal action. The bottom one is the state action, and we really need your support. Next slide, please. It's back to Adam. Thanks.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. So just a few more updates here, and then we're gonna get everybody out on time, it looks like, which I'm always happy about. Did want to let everyone know, if you haven't heard, that the ArtsPay NJ individual arts worker study is open. There's the URL, artspaynj.org, super easy to remember. We encourage everyone on this webinar not only to take the survey, but to share the survey with everyone and anyone in in your atmosphere of the arts and cultural world. So whether you're working as an arts administrator, or you're a teaching artist, or you're a creative person who's putting together commissions and fellowships and paid gigs to make that creative life work, really, whether you're front of house or you're a fundraiser, we need everyone in New Jersey's arts community to fill out this survey, artspaynj.org. The organizational section of this survey will come out later, and we'll make sure to remind you about it. But for now, we want to share this survey as far and as wide as possible. And the survey has some logic built into it. So if you're not sure who should take the survey, don't worry about it. Send it out to folks, and the survey will actually take them through the logic and make sure that the folks who we're trying to capture are those that complete the survey. ArtPride is hosting a technical assistance webinar for the individual arts worker portion of the survey on this coming Monday, June 12th at 2 p.m. You can sign up for that on our website under the webinars section. Next slide. So one thing I want to remember, want to remind folks, since this is our membership webinar, is if you haven't already, to please pay your fiscal year 23 dues before June 30th. So these are dues for this fiscal year from last July through this June. And as a reminder, organizational membership dues are extremely important to ArtPride. It is organizational membership dues and individual giving combined, which are primary sources for unrestricted revenue. And that is what pays for our lobbying efforts. And that is extremely important to the work that we do. So we definitely need folks to renew their membership. There's a link there in the chat. If you have any questions about your membership, feel free to drop us a line at membership@artpridenj.org. We'll be happy to help. And I love this map. ArtPride is now over 300 members. I think last time I looked, there's about 308 members currently. So we continue to grow, and we appreciate you being part of that membership. And that's where we are today. We're getting pretty close. We have to bring in that 100,000 before June 30th. So we encourage you to make sure your membership dues are available, and to potentially give as well before the end of the month. Vince, you want to go to the next slide? So we actually just sent out earlier today one of our first communications about our end of fiscal year appeal, which is about transforming through art and transforming New Jersey. We have ArtPride's wonderful impact statement, which is now available on our website. We encourage you to take a look at the work that ArtPride has done, particularly over the last few years, and to see some of this incredible artwork that we commissioned from South Jersey artist Kelly Privard. So thank you to Kelly for providing the visuals for both the impact statement and our annual appeal. If you can give, we truly appreciate it. artpridenj.org/give is a great place to do that and to learn more about the impact that the organization has. And I think we have one or two more slides. Yes. And we do have an open position at ArtPride. We're very sad that Megan LeBou will be leaving the ArtPride team to go after some new opportunities and new endeavors. We will miss Megan, but that does mean our membership and development manager position is open. We encourage you to go onto the website if you're interested in applying, or to share it with folks who might be interested. The URL's there. You can always scroll to the bottom of any ArtPride NJ webpage. It's there at the bottom. Careers is the link. But we encourage you to either apply or to share it with those that might be interested. And I think we're on the final slide. So just thank you. Before we go, we want to thank you for being a member. As an arts service organization and a membership-based organization, ArtPride is only as effective as its membership, and you are all truly an engaged and dedicated group, and that makes our work fulfilling and successful. And we truly appreciate you being a member, and hope you will continue to do so in the coming years. And know that the entire ArtPride team, I know you saw Anne-Marie and myself, but Jim Atkinson and Vince is there behind the scenes doing the slides. We mentioned Megan LeBou, and of course, our communications and marketing and web team, Tanisha Ford and C. Stroud. We truly appreciate all that you do for ArtPride, and thank you for joining us today. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. And as I said, the recorded webinar will be up, if not later today, then by tomorrow for sure. Take care.